In today's live stream video, I'm going to discuss my guest's reselling business with her, including how she sources and sells clothes. She'll share her tips and strategies to help make us more successful and profitable resellers. Every Wednesday, I have a live stream, and I usually interview another reseller and have them share their tips, tricks, and techniques to make us more profitable and knowledgeable resellers. If you're interested in reselling, then you are in the right place. Just going to pop in the chat, folks, and say hello to a few people, and then I shall bring my guest on. Just a few people. I know we got a little early start today, trying to stay on top of things. Just a reminder: after our show is finished, Angie is actually having Rachel Strickland on. So I'm sure most of you know Angie and Rachel Strickland. So they support my channel, so I like to support the other resellers that support me as well. So I want to remind you guys that they'll have a show after our show is over with. So I want to say hello to Randy. Thanks for being here, Randy. Mike, appreciate you being here. Michelle, of course, my guest is in the chat, and Lisa C. So like I said, the chat will be filling in shortly. So don't like to make the people waiting that are watching the replay. So we shall get started very shortly. And say hello to Mr. Craig, and I shall bring my guest on, and I shall have her introduce herself. Hello, hello.
Hello. Hey, Adam. Hey, everybody in chat.
Maggie, why don't you introduce yourself to the people in the chat that don't know you?
So I am MaggieDoodle on YouTube and on Instagram. I also go by ThriftShop Fashionista. And I sell books, media, and clothing online. It's my gig.
Okay, and you're from the Philadelphia area.
Oh, yeah, I'm from Philadelphia area, and I spend some of the year in the Philadelphia area, some of the year at the Jersey Shore with my husband, Michael, and 3 cats.
3 cats, okay. And you're actually down there. We call it the shore. Some of you guys might say the beach or whatever. We in Delaware Valley, we call it the shore.
We call it down the shore. In
down the shore.
Jersey, it's go to the beach, but in South Jersey, we go down the shore.
Down the shore, right. So, okay, so just a little bit. Your husband is involved in your reselling business as well, right?
He is. He's my shipping department, and
okay.
He's a book scouter. He does a lot of the book scouting.
Okay, so like I said, we're going to go over Maggie's full reselling business, but like I said, we're going to try to have her share her experience and what she uses in her business. And I always tell you guys, listen to what Maggie has to say. I try to bring on a lot of experienced resellers on and have them share their tips and what they're doing. And if you can apply it to your business, great. If you can't, it's understandable. Everyone has different opportunities in different situations, but that's why I do the show to educate you and myself on how other resellers do it and try to apply, if I can or you can, what they're doing in the reselling business to help us, be more profitable. So, okay, so we're going to get, like I like to say, the meat and potatoes. We'll have Maggie introduce herself, so we're going to get a little more in detail on what's going on here. Okay. What platforms are you currently selling on? And I'm curious as to why you're selling those platforms. I already mentioned that your husband is involved in the reselling business, and you just told me in the pre-chat that he is retired, so he helps you, your shipping department. He helps you scan books.
Right. He does the book scouting. So I started on eBay in 1997 selling books. My husband he was a member of the Science Fiction Book Club, and we had boxes full of these books in our basement, and that's what I first started selling when I first discovered eBay. So I've continued to sell books on eBay. I sell books on Amazon FBA, and Merchant Fulfilled, and I sell vintage books on Etsy. And then in the 2014, I started to sell clothing, and I do clothing on eBay and Poshmark, and I also sell vintage clothing on Etsy. So I spread myself around.
Now, again, I don't sell on Etsy, so I want to just delve in a little bit. I hear like the platform is like really expanding on more things you can sell on it. So you say you only can sell vintage books. So I mean, you couldn't sell.
You can't sell.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You can sell homemade and vintage items on Etsy. So, for books, I can only sell vintage books.
So what do they consider vintage? 10 years or older, or what?
I believe 20.
20 years. Okay.
So yeah, anything from 2001, I guess.
Yeah, that's vintage now. Okay. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah, I used to call myself vintage. Now, by that standard, I'm ancient.
Oh, there you go. Just as far as those different platforms, what has your experience been? Again, we're going to get into selling clothes, guys, but I want to also learn about other aspects of Maggie's business. Where do you find like your best success selling books? Is it still on Amazon or what platforms?
No, Amazon used to be my biggest platform, and it's now second to eBay. And that's
Okay,
just because the Amazon FBA fees are really um, a killer. And also, once they started gating in DVDs and CDs, because
right.
they sell a lot of media too, but I'm not ungated in those. So that dipped into my eBay, my Amazon business. I mean, I just moved it all over to eBay. I sell media on eBay, but so Amazon is my second platform now instead of my first.
So
But
I'm sorry.
well, like we said ahead of time, we chatted before time. For me, as long as I get for on Amazon, what I get is what I get. Fees are already taken out, so that money is my money. So as long as I'm grabbing money, as long as they're depositing something into my bank account every 2 weeks, I'll stay. Just
Okay.
got to make.
Okay, so with the different like reselling the books and all, and I told you in a pre-chat also, I had a friend of mine that used to sell books, and my understanding is that the Amazon fees are you're getting kind of out of control. So you sell on Amazon your books, FBA fulfilled by Amazon. Why is that as opposed to be filled by merchant? And why do you feel that it's
I
better
do
to do
both.
it that way?
Anything. It's based on the Amazon rank. So anything with a rank of up to 1 million, I'll send it to FBA, and anything with a rank above that, I'll keep. But um, knowing that on FBA, I can price books higher, so I can price books higher on FBA than I do merchant fulfilled.
Right, because
So
with FBA, it's getting shipped through Amazon and free
right,
shipping, based quote unquote free shipping.
right. So when I'm researching, when I have a book in front of me, and it might be selling for $10 merchant fulfilled, and it might be selling for $19 FBA,
Right.
and I can list mine higher because there are many people who just go in, they choose Prime only, and they only look at the FBA prices.
Right. So
So I can
I discuss that on the show all the time. That's one of the questions I asked you as far as free shipping. But people get used to the Amazon model, and they pay for Prime, so it's not really free shipping. I figure I don't even know what the new numbers. It's like $139 a year or something. Amazon raised their
uh,
their cost.
we just paid it for ourselves because we're
Yeah.
Amazon partners. I want to say 129 or something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I
So I
think
figure it's like 10, 11, $12 a month that you're paying quote unquote for shipping. I mean,
basically,
in my mind, it's brilliant. But you do get the. I mean, I
yeah,
watch movies and TV shows and whatnot on
right. You get the
Amazon
Amazon.
Prime Video. Right, right.
Yeah.
So okay, just going to touch on it too. Might as well get into that while we're talking about books. Uh, when you got more advanced, you started using an app to scan your books. So you said you currently use Scoutly.
A book called an app called Scoutly. It's run by a company, or the website is asellertool.com.
Okay.
Um, and what it allows me to do is download the entire Amazon database so that I can scan books without having to go out to the internet. So I can scan real quick.
So
And
the key again, I'm not a bookseller, but the key advantage of that is a lot of times you have spotty cell
right,
service or internet service. So that way, if you already downloaded that information
right,
into your device, you don't have to have internet service. So if you go, like, say you're going to the thrift shop and you're all excited, you're gonna start scanning books, you don't have internet service, you're out of luck. But if you already
a
have
lot of
downloaded
times,
data,
yeah, like library book sales in basements of old libraries. Um, Lots of times there's just no service down there, so it's crucial to have the database.
and the other thing is, and again, so you're downloading, so you don't have to worry about that. But I know other Amazon sellers, when they're scanning things, they actually have several different carriers. They might have like I don't want to call it a burner phone, but they might have Verizon service, they might have T-Mobile service, they might have AT&T service. I mean, I guess that's more like the really super advanced sellers. But I know some people actually do that, so they can have service if they don't have service on
Oh
one carrier, they'll have service on another carrier.
wow.
But
Yeah.
I know that's a little crazy, but I know
Yeah.
some people actually do that. It's funny you brought up about the library book sales, and I told you I was talking to a friend of mine, before we went online. Is it called Ex Libre? Is that how they classify library books?
Ex Libris. Yeah.
Ex Libris, right, right. Okay, well, my Latin isn't as good as my mother. Would be upset because she studied Latin in high school. What's your experience been with those? With I know other resellers that sold books that actually went to library sales. What has your experience been with that? Can you get some books that are profitable getting at library sales?
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of books at library sales are just donated books. They're not literally books that are
Oh, they
being.
haven't made it into the library per se.
No, a lot of
Okay.
them just get. Yeah, the people just donate books. A lot of libraries have books sitting in their library. Like we'll go and do the rounds of the libraries. They have like a section of the library that has books for sale all the time. All the time, you can just go in. But they get at one point in the year, usually friends of the library, will hold a big sale, and but it's a lot of donated books, so it's
Okay, I wasn't
not
aware of that. Okay.
necessarily ex-library books or library discards. But I've sold a ton of library discards too. A lot of them are older books that are out of print, out of circulation, and out of that people are still sought after.
Right.
And
So the
so
only way you can actually get that books is like for, I guess, estate sales per se, and they're very limited as far as
yeah,
particular books and library sales.
yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. I wasn't aware of that. I mean, anytime I actually saw books for sale at the libraries when I would go to vote, they put them out. They would just try to fundraise for the library. They would have like a book sale during the voting. Okay. Um,
just laughing at Randy's comments in the
yeah,
chat.
I was going to actually make a comment about that. If you want to read that, I'm not going to post. I'm not going to share that on the screen, but it was, it was kind of funny. But I tried to keep this G to PG. So, but you guys want to read Randy's comment in the chat, you're more than welcome. Okay. Okay.
Funny guy.
Now, when you're like outsourcing for books, I mean, I once you get in a little bit into sourcing, is your main sourcing thrift stores currently?
There's stores right now, yard sale. We do yard sales Friday and Saturday mornings because it's the season. Thrift shops, church rummage sales for books, library book sales, estate sales sometimes. But yeah, mostly thrifts and yard sales.
But with your clothing, it's more, I would assume, thrift sales and estate sales, that type of thing. We said you do yard sales as well, but
yeah. Hey, Mike.
so you've actually I get now you're saying on Friday yard sales. I typically don't see them. Is that more of a down the shore kind of thing that they do Friday?
Cape May County thing.
It's
And that's and that's a tip I always tell people to make sure you get your local newspapers. Like this, Cape May County has a local little news magazine called The Shoppy that has pages of yard sales.
Okay.
But there's like the Cape May County Herald, and not only that, you should join all your Facebook groups for your local area. So,
right.
For instance, I belong to Cape May County Neighbors, or the different Cape May County Courthouse Neighbors, or Villas, New Jersey Neighbors, stuff like that, because people will post there we're having a yard sale that they might not put in the newspaper.
Gotcha.
And and also your thrift shops, follow them on social media, because then you're always going to see when they're having sales, when they're running tag sales. You want to follow your sources.
Yeah, that's a great tip, and I should bring that up more frequently, and I do forget to mention that, but that is a great tip, that to follow your thrift stores or whatever that you're shopping at, or like you said, they're the church rummage sales or something. So maybe they're running a special sale, or maybe they're running a holiday sale. Maybe they're not running on the holiday per se, they're running on a different date. So like you said, follow their social media so you can keep updated on how they do things. Makes a lot of sense.
Like for books, follow all the local libraries in your area in whatever mile radius you don't mind going. So like I'll follow Cape May County libraries, all the different branches. I'll follow Ben Salem, Bucks County, Pennsylvania, all their branches. because then they'll be posting their sales, and you'll catch them. And there is a website called booksalefinder.com that gives you information on book sales coming up.
Okay, so it's bookseller.
Booksalefinder.com.
Booksalefinder.com. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a tip for you guys that are selling books, that if you're not aware of that, I wasn't aware of that particular website. Okay, yeah. So that's something you would, I guess, do in addition, that libraries will post on that, I'm assuming, those type of sales or charity sales.
Yeah.
So you would go with that website, and as well as, like you said, the local Facebook groups, and what else would you use as far as tools to fund this sales?
Lisa says my local library system started scanning and selling books. Oh yeah, I hate when that happens. Some of them definitely do that. Most of my local Goodwills have started doing that.
Right.
I mean, I just keep. It used to be that on Facebook you could follow. You could save the pages that you follow, and then just see them all in a row. Did away with that feature.
Yeah, they changed a lot of things on Facebook. Yeah.
I just bookmark the Facebook pages of all the local libraries, and like say the beginning and the first day of the month, I just sit down and go through all those bookmarks and see what everybody's doing. Look at their event calendars for the coming month. Look at all my thrift shops, and what thrift shops I check more often. Libraries I check once a month, but thrift shops I make sure to check their pages more often. Instagram, a lot of them have Instagram where they put sales and stuff on there. Yeah, so.
I tell you guys, I'm ADD, and I wrote something that I was going to ask Maggie, and then we kind of got off on a little bit of tangent. So I want to talk to her about that. So we're going to kind of retrack a little bit. You know, I don't know how to make that noise, rewind sound or whatever. But I just wanted to have you touch on a little bit again, guys, and then basically we're going to get more into the reselling, the close. But what you told me that the big book scanning software app is Scout IQ. What is the difference, just for the booksellers or people that are interested in booksellers? What is, again, why don't you just tell us, like, you could use like the Amazon sellers app, right? That's kind of like not really efficient, so to speak.
Right. You can use
Scout IQ and you have Scoutly. I'm sorry. What are the difference between those types of apps?
So you can use the Amazon sellers app, and it's basically you hold up your phone to the barcode and it scans it, or you could also hold up your phone to the book cover, and it will look up for you that way by title. It's just you have to have the internet, and then you're waiting for the information to go back and forth through the internet, and then also so it's just the downloading of the database is the most important thing.
Right. Now, so like you said, if you don't have internet service, you can't download. I'm assuming with the Amazon sellers app, you can't pre-download that information. Gotcha.
No, you're just doing that. And I use it because if I look at a book and, for instance, for some reason there's an error and it's not in the database, or any book that doesn't have an ISBN number, then I'll just use the Amazon seller app to look it up live. I do it a lot of times with CDs, and that's tricky for me because I know that if I look up the price, I can't always sell it on Amazon, but I'll still use it for that purpose.
That's something I want to get into a little bit. When you're saying you're gated, so to speak, on Amazon. Again, I'm not an Amazon seller. I mean, when I first started, I wanted to get into Amazon, and I may eventually get back in Amazon. I belong to an Amazon group it was pretty pricey when I first joined, but it's lifetime. And they're constantly updating their programs and their videos and their databases and whatnot. But with Amazon, and if you're already gated, there's allegedly ways to get ungated. Now, are they very strict now with the DVDs and the CDs with gating? Is there a workaround? I mean, what would the workaround be to get ungated in the media?
The way to get ungated, and let me say hi to Danny May. Hi, Danny May. Is to buy from a distributor. To buy them, and you have to provide receipts.
Have an invoice, right?
And have an invoice. And I understand. I haven't really looked into it that much, but I understand that could be really costly. Like you might have to buy $1,000 minimum, whatever.
Oh, okay.
So and then once you do it, and you've provided those and you're ungated, then you could scout at yard sales or do whatever you want.
Right.
It's just that process of getting. So I can't sell what they call popular music,
Right.
and I can't sell DVDs over or under a certain manufacturer's suggested retail price.
Okay.
But some things I still do sell DVDs and CDs. I'm just limited in what I can sell. And I haven't pursued it. But there's videos out there on how to get ungated. But as I understand it, you simply have to buy them.
Pretty much have to buy from a wholesaler at least once to have an invoice.
At least once to have the
Right.
to have the.
What has your experience been when you're out thrifting or yard selling, whatever? Because you can sell them on eBay.
Right.
What type of DVDs or media are you looking for? I mean, I hear, again, I'm talking out of school, because I mean, if I saw something, I would probably scan it. But I think horror movies typically, and then especially like off-beat horror movies.
Some horror movies, but I look for nonfiction, then books. I look for nonfiction, like out of the way things, like not the major studios movies that you would go to the movies and see. I look at concert videos. I look at anything that's not the norm. Video, documentaries, videos about like, I'm just trying to look to see what I just sold. For instance, I just sold a set, 2 CDs. I bought them for $1 each, and I sold the pair for $44.
Oh, nice.
Health journeys, guided imagery, meditation CDs. I sold a original motion picture soundtrack CD. I sell a lot of motion picture soundtrack CDs.
Now, would you pick up used media, or do you pick up new in box, or had you pick up both?
Used media. Yeah, of course I would pick up something new, but I sell a lot of used. Okay. So anything that's not, I always say for books, the less it's about, the more it's worth, the more specific the subject, and the fewer people who might have bought it originally, the more it might be valuable now. And I think that's kind of the way it is with DVDs. Some TV show series, that kind of thing. So and like it's more a matter of, you go into a place and you'll see walls full of DVDs, and you can't possibly scan every DVD. So it's a matter of picking, like I skip over anything that's a major studio release, anything that's, you might, go to them, and I just scan, I pull out some exercise videos, but like I said, documentaries, educational videos, religious videos, concert videos, that kind of thing.
That's funny you brought that up. And again, as a side note, do you ever pick up Bibles? I mean, I understand there's money in Bibles too.
All the time.
So if you pick them up, you find them, okay.
And there again, it's the red letter, but like I just sold a Bible, the self-pronouncing New Testament red letter edition, not just the Bible, not a Gideon Bible, a Bible with concordance and maps of ancient Egypt, a Bible with
a little more unique.
Yeah, a Bible with thing. Nelson Bibles that have a number on the side.
Now, I know those type of things like the Bibles and all. I guess I should say probably, again, I make a mistake when I assume, because I'm on a bookseller. But I guess a condition, I'm assuming, is key, correct, when you're selling books?
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, for a sought after book that's not, or an old book, you can get away with.
Right, something that's like, 50, 60, 80 years old, right. I guess it's different because they're very limited.
Right. The condition, definitely, especially on like Amazon, I'll base my pricing on my condition. So if I have something that I consider very good, I'll price against other very good. I won't even worry about the ones that are listed in good or acceptable condition. But
Again,
I'm
sorry.
very, um, I I underrate my books. Like what somebody else might rate very good, I might rate good. I'm very picky about how I rate um, books.
Yeah, Mike, I would obviously I would assume you can't sell that on either platform. I don't know if you can even sell that on Facebook. Would you? Any ideas, Maggie?
Lord, no, you couldn't sell it on eBay or Amazon. I mean,
Right,
there's other book platforms out there. There's
right.
Alibris.com, abebooks.com, um, but they're not necessarily places. I wonder if you have thought about Etsy. I don't even know
Yeah,
if you
I
could.
don't know if that would be allowed to sell on Etsy or not. I mean, it's. I guess what's the why I would say what's the worst that happened? You kicked off the platform, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Did they have customer service for something like that, where you can inquire and say, "I have this book. Am I allowed to sell it?" I mean, I wonder if that's something you could look into.
I think that's something you might have to do, kind of a private offline.
Yeah, I think I might have to sell
call.
it privately. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hi, Karen and
Hello,
Glenn.
Karen. Hello, Glenn. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, and everything's very very particular now. I don't want to get involved with politics, but I mean, something like that, you kind of sort of see why they don't allow you to sell it. But again, there are people, that, especially historians, that would probably want to collect something like that. Absolutely, but yeah, I don't know. I guess, Mike, I guess you probably have to research how to sell that privately. I wouldn't think that a lot of platforms probably won't let you sell that on their platforms.
Yeah, I would think not.
Right. Okay. Once you get in a little bit more now into the selling the women's clothing, well, I mean, again, I guess you're a fashionista, so you kind of have a feeling, I guess, when you're picking things up, you're touching the material, so you can tell if it's high quality. I learned that a lot from other resellers that sell clothing. They're so experienced. It's like they just touch things like, oh, this is high. They're going through the rack. It's like, oh, this is something that's really high quality. Why don't you just give us some tips and maybe some brands, women's clothing? I mean, again, I know you're a fashionista, so kind of like, wow, this really pops. This was so really.
So
But for like just for a basic tips.
I do call myself Thrift Shop Fashionista, but I'm not really a fashionista in terms of high fashion and style myself. Uh, I got into selling clothing because I was losing weight, and so I didn't want to buy clothing while I was losing weight and going down 3 sizes pretty quickly.
Right.
So, and then I discovered how much great clothing there is out there. I could kick myself for when I, was working and was trying hard to find clothes for myself in like 3X. And now I find that stuff all the time. So I love selling plus size clothes. But I sell clothes for the love of selling the clothes. And I sell clothes for the love of interacting with mostly women who buy my clothes. I feel like clothing is like fashion and style is like a self-care thing for people. So many women have self-esteem issues. And for me, getting myself dressed and put together and putting my makeup on is for me, it helps me go and be productive. So I feel like it's almost like a service I provide in addition to making money for myself, but to help women maybe look good. And so not high fashion. I'm not high fashion. I focus on style rather than brand. So anything I sell a ton of denim, anything denim, jeans, skirts, jumpers, overalls, denim sells for me. Anything with special details, ruffles and polka dots and lace and, distinctive sleeves. Also the fabrics are key. Like I can quickly go down a rack and if I'm really in a pinch for time, I don't even bother looking at the labels. I'll go down and I can feel something that's linen, something that's cashmere, something that's silk, and all those really nice fabrics sell. And so the brands that I sell, I've come across a few high-end things, and I've sold them, but mostly I sell basic brands.
Like small brands, right?
I do. I sell, my biggest selling brand is Susan Graver, which is a QVC brand.
I was just saying that's not, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I think what happens is they show these brands on QVC and HSN too, but not to as much an extent as QVC. And women like them, but they only make a certain amount, and then they're out. They're discontinued.
And the way you get them is to purchase them through resale.
So the only way you get them is if you happen to find them in a thrift shop, and women love them. Women love those brands. They're made for women a lot of times in more of my age group. So I sell more for the mature woman than I do the younger stuff, and it just works for me. So I do go out and look. I do try to keep up with trends. The trending things now is cottage. The biggest trend right now is coastal grandmother style. You might have seen that.
Why don't you elaborate on that? I don't know how anything with coastal grandmother style is.
So coastal grandmother style is right up my alley, right? Because it's that age group.
Yeah, your grandmother now. I know you see your posts on Facebook. Your grandchildren.
Bye, Glenn. Yeah. So beachy clothing. It's like white and tans and floppy hats and wide leg pants and bigger shirts, things that are flowy and casual for the beach.
Okay.
Yeah, they call it coastal grandmother style. Another big one right now is dark academia, which is really more of a younger look. Think Hogwarts or what was the girl on Angie. I love floppy hats. I know, it's so comfortable, right? I love summertime. Putting on a skirt or a maxi dress, and really cute, really cool.
Angie, I gave you a plug earlier. I'll remind the people. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Maggie.
That's okay.
Angie's in the chat, but I did say you're going to have a great co-host on tonight, Rachel Strickland. So I'll remind the people again at the end of the show that to pop over to your channel.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
once you get into that, we said the Hogwarts style. Is that what you're kind of?
Oh no, I'm thinking, what's the Addams Family? The girl, like, think that kind of dark.
Okay.
Dark kind of look.
Not Morticia, not the mother.
Goth look, yeah.
Morticia, like the goth look. Okay.
Not Morticia, the little girl.
Oh, I can't think of against it with an A.
Kind of like gothic schoolgirl.
Oh, gothic schoolgirl. Okay. Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Mom. There's treasures. I should just ask the chat because I see other shows and it's like, I don't know. Does the chat know? And like, oh, chat always knows.
Yeah. So you can find out a lot of what's trending and what those looks are from TikTok. There's and I go a lot onto just like there's a website called stylecaster.com, or even Macy's, Nordstrom, some of the higher end department stores. But if you go onto their page and you click on women's, there's usually a link for trending, and just look. I mean, some people look at the high fashion magazines. I don't, but I just look to see I go onto the Chico's website and I click on trending. And
so you go on the websites and there's trending categories. Okay.
If you go now, you'll see a lot of the coastal grandmother thing. You'll see a lot of flowy pants. You'll see a lot of linen. You'll see a lot of, so the trends kind of, if you just visit like the department store websites and click on trending, you'll kind of see and then you'll know when you're out and about. Like at one point I was buying everything that was polka dot and it was selling because polka dot was big.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of looking at that stuff and just to keep it in the back of your mind when you're out and about. But I'm starting to attract repeat customers. So I have a few kind of things, like I sell a lot of denim, I sell a lot of maxi dresses, I sell a lot of plus size. I'm doing a lot of dresses right now. So I'm finding out what my customers like and what my repeat customers like. My wife who's Asian says polka dots are good luck. Yeah, polka dots have always been a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. So I mean, again, I was going to bring that up again because I had Casey on Rockstar Flipper on a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about adjusting your store, so to speak, and make sure you have listed things that are selling this time of year as well. So I mean, like they say, like Christmas sells year round. But again, I was going to ask you as far as clothing, like I don't know if you sell swimwear, but like cover ups and beachwear. You also mentioned earlier about beachwear, right?
Yeah, I try to sell what's in season now. And now what'll happen is at the end of this year, like not the end of the year, at the end of the summer, August, several of my thrift shops actually shut down, pull all the summer stuff off, or but first they'll have a dollar, they'll have 50% off sale, then a 75%, then a dollar sale,
Right.
and I'll go and I'll buy up a ton of summer stuff, and I will put that away and won't list it. We'll save it for the
Oh,
following
so you'll
season.
pull it out of store so it doesn't get stale, so to speak.
I mean, I'll buy stuff at the end of the season and I won't list it right away.
Oh, okay.
I'll
But do
I'll
you
put it
pull
away.
down things from your store? I mean, is
No,
that
no, no, no. Once it's listed, I don't pull it down, but I don't. Um, like right now, if I'm at a thrift shop and I might find something, a sweater or something, I'll probably just throw it up there. But if I buy a bunch of stuff of a certain season, I'll put it away for that next
gotcha?
season
Okay.
and then not list it till then.
Is that something
Um,
that you do occasionally? I mean, again, I don't know if it works. Allegedly, it does work. Like, pulling things off, and then relisting. To get a new item number, so it's not
so
stale.
I worship at the feet of reseller Rowboat Beth,
Okay.
and she does a lot
Oh,
of.
shout it out, Beth. Let's get shouted out every show. You did it this show, so Beth, you got your shout out.
And she does a lot of she believes in ending and relisting, and
Mhm.
and I when I have done it, it's been successful for me and it
Okay.
has sparked, but I never pull anything down and then keep it off and save it.
Gotcha.
I'll
I pulled a
sometimes.
lot of my jeans off. I mean, because they're out of style now. I'm told that everything comes back, but I have these boot cuts, with straight legs, and that's not what's selling now. It's
Yeah,
skinny jeans are selling, and the stress is selling. So I have all these things from like the 90s and the 80s, and they're just not selling.
yeah, I mean, I think there's value in culling that kind of thing and pulling stuff off, but I in the scheme of fitting things into the time that I have for my business,
Right.
I don't do it often just because I don't have the time to do it.
Right.
But I
Well,
think
when I had Casey on, and again, guys, I guess we all started at different times reselling, but people talk about, I want to fix something on my home. How do I learn how to do? I go on YouTube, or I want to do this, and I want to buy something. I want a product review. I go on YouTube. So again, most of us learn how to resell by going on YouTube and following various resellers, and then we expanded our horizons and started following other resellers. But one of the things, back in the day, Casey the Rockstar Flipper says, don't relist, sell similar. But then a couple of years ago, eBay actually changed that. Again, it's on the eBay platform. They changed it so if you do relist, your item gets a new item number, so it's not like stale. But again, when
right,
you pull a listing off, again you lose the followers. But
right.
I would assume if something has not sold in 3 to 6 months,
Yeah, I wouldn't worry
you're
about if
better off either removing it or redonating it, or adjusting the pictures, the title, the description, or at a minimum, relisting and getting a new item number on it.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so on the brands, you said it's more that you're looking for styles and what's popular now. You're not really looking for brands per se, typically, right?
No, there's a few brands that I like I sell. Susan Graver sells for me. Chico sells for
Right.
me. And the plus sizes, I sell a lot of uh, what Woman Within. Trying to think some of the. You would think I would know some of the plus size brands that I have listed. My brain is a complete blank right now. Isn't that weird?
Well, your dad is sure, it's you're relaxing a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm seriously
Lane
drawn.
Bryant and some of those.
Lane Bryant. Yeah, Catherine's. Lane Bryant.
Catherine's is another right brand.
Yeah, but
Chico's.
I sell a
You
lot.
sell more. You sell more. Trying to say this politically correct, like like middle-aged and older typically clothing, right? You're not selling like the young, like the
Women of
younger.
women women of a certain age. Clothing for women of a certain age.
Gotcha. Thank you. I gotta be careful. But I mean, you're not selling like clothing to like the teenagers and 20 something.
No.
You're selling
Like
more
I
for
would never
the
sell
40
in
plus age group.
Depop. Yeah, I'm
Right, right,
not. I
right,
don't.
right, right, right.
Yeah, I have a different. Yeah.
Right, different clientele. Okay, and I might as well get into that a little bit too. I mean, as far as how you run your eBay store, and you said you have a lot of repeat customers.
I
And I
have.
know,
I have. I've been getting more and more repeat customers. I wouldn't say I have a lot of repeat customers, but I've
right,
been getting more repeat customer and cultivating more repeat customers. So
right. So you said
yeah,
you're a big fan of Beth Reseller Rowboat. So Beth talks about running sales and running coupons. Have you got involved in that and doing couponing?
coupons I do. I do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I do a coupon, and then Saturday I do a coupon that's like a more like 10% more off. And I do promoted listings. I mean, I feel like you have got to do promoted listings
Right.
and offers to watch. I do send offers to buyers all the time.
Okay. And then
So
what's your we'll ask you the $64,000 question everybody says. How about free shipping?
no,
Something first class, do you offer free shipping or you always charge shipping?
no free shipping.
No free shipping. No free shipping for you.
But I do free returns.
You do free returns.
I do free returns, and I do refund. I get returns for fit, and I do refund the original shipping price. I take a loss on the shipping,
Okay.
which I know a lot of sellers don't do. But I have had people come back and buy from me again and they say because of that.
I was
Because
going to follow up with that, why you do that. So you're saying sometimes you get you'll come back and buy something else.
I do it because I've always felt, especially in the beginning, not so much now because there's so many protections in place, but my feeling always was this is a buyer who is trusting me, a complete stranger.
Right.
They're giving me their money and they're trusting me to send them their item. And I feel like there's this trust relationship. And like I said, I feel like I almost provide a service in addition to selling a product and helping women find great clothes that make them feel good and look good. And so I feel like it's a relationship building thing. I would hate to buy something, get it, it doesn't fit, I can't use it, and I'm out $7, $6.99 for shipping. For what? For nothing.
Right.
So yeah, I'm a small seller. Yeah, I'm a tiny little business, but that's to me is the cost of doing business, to eat that shipping, to provide them with an experience. And also my philosophy is that as eBay sellers, we are all helping. If that customer doesn't come back to me, she'll go to somebody else. She'll buy from somebody else. She'll stay on the eBay platform because she had a great experience, because she didn't lose out. And so that's why I do that free. I do refund the original shipping, even on mistakes and stuff that's not my fault.
Right. Just out of curiosity, I don't know if you know this off the top of your head, but you have a ballpark idea what your return rate is?
I have like 2.3%.
Okay, that's not terrible, and you have free returns.
Yep.
That's not bad at all.
Yep.
Okay. Again, so you said on occasion you'll get that person to buy something else from you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah.
Okay. I want to ask you also as far as how you're running your business as well. We had mentioned earlier Scoutly. Are there any other apps or software to use cross-listing software? I think you do.
I do.
And then we talked about GoDaddy going out of business for the bookkeeping. What are you ended up doing with that?
So with GoDaddy going out of business, I'm going to return to my roots, and I'm doing this, which is what I first started with. I'm going back to pen and paper.
Uh-oh. Going old school.
Yep. Yep. I mean, especially because Carol, hi. Especially because now I've always been like a small time seller, so I've never done enough on any one platform to get a 1099. but at the end of this year,
now it's only $400.
I'm going to get 1099s.
Yeah.
So that's the big part of it. I'm going to have my 1099s. I keep good track of my expenses. I have one business card that almost every expense goes on, business credit card.
Right.
And so I don't see any reason to do QuickBooks or anything like that. I'm just going to go back to, pencil and paper.
Yeah. I'll probably have Casey on again in another month or two. And my understanding is reseller genie is pretty good, but they need to adapt it a little bit more and kind of. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure Casey will be able to elaborate. I mean, hopefully they're taking feedback from resellers and maybe adding some of these things that are needed.
I think that they might very well do that. And then if they do, and if it becomes amazing, then I'll go back to down the road, but I don't want to be
Well, yeah. In the meantime, you got to keep books. I guess you just allot a certain amount of time, like they have like a schedule. Like I do bookkeeping at such a time every week, or do it daily, or how do you do it?
I try to do it monthly. I try to keep up with my receipts. As soon as I come back from scouting, I try to enter in my cost. My cost
of goods. Okay.
I use an app called Mile IQ that we do pay for.
Use the Mile IQ. Okay.
Tracks our miles.
Absolutely, that's good app. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I use List Perfectly.
So you're using List Perfectly now. I know for a while you're using Vendoo, and then the List Perfectly had some issues, and now apparently it's getting a lot better. So what has your experience been with List Perfectly?
I understand people who use Vendoo love it. And it just happens to be that List Perfectly is what I settled on. It's great. It has integrated photo room for.
Right. So for those of you that don't know, photo room removes backlinks and pictures.
And it helps me just cross list really quickly to the various platforms, and then it helps me quickly take something down when something sells. And
you still have to be on a PC to do that, though, correct? You can't. They don't have an app.
No, they don't.
Okay, that's something they really need to work on. At least my understanding is.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm away from home, I have an iPad. It can be done. No, it can't be done on the.
It can't be done now because that's on the
iPad. I can list using.
And who wants to carry around a laptop with them? I guess you could technically go on your you use your phone as the hotspot, or we're going to find a McDonald's or something. But who wants to carry around their laptop? You can't leave it in the car in this heat or in the winter. Yeah. It'll kill it.
So that's its one drawback. I don't know that Vendoo allows you to.
I don't think they do either.
List either. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
But I don't think so. Other than that, I use the Amazon seller app. I use Scoutly. I use the eBay seller app. I use the Etsy seller app a little bit. Mm-hmm. I use a few picture editing things. Pick Tap Go is one, and Moldy. And then
what is called Pick Tab Do? Was what you said?
Pick Tap Go. It has some filters that allow you to I usually use it for color correction. Sometimes I'll take a picture and it doesn't look anything like the color that it is. And Pick Tap Go is helpful in getting it to the right color.
This drives me crazy.
Although List Perfectly is new, they're adding some. They have some filters too that.
Okay.
And then the other thing I really use for my business just to help keep me on track is I use a planner.
Well, you probably learned that from Beth, right? Reseller Rowboat. That's big on bullet journals and planners.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so let me check my notes here. I think we pretty much covered everything. I just want to see if there's any questions for Maggie, guys. If you have any questions about selling books or selling clothing, why don't you pop them in the chat now, and then we'll have Maggie talk about her social media a little bit. Just give me a minute to do my portion of the show, guys. I always tell you guys that, again, I do this to give back to the community. I'm a big believer of the golden rule and doing others as doing it yourself. And back in the day when I was learning about reselling, I would send super chats to the resellers who were doing live streams, or I would buy something from them, buy their merch or whatever. So again, guys, I'm not monetizing this channel, so I do have PayPal, buy me a cup of coffee, Cash App, etc. And I also have Randy's website, facings.com, in the description. So if you guys want to buy any old-fashioned candies, coffees, teas, or spices, Randy has a great business. And again, Randy is kind enough to pay me a little commission. You just register. You put AE when you register on his website next to your name. And Randy, if you buy anything from Randy, Randy is kind enough to pay me a commission. So I'm just checking the chat, guys. Were there any other questions for Maggie about, any reselling in general, or selling clothing, or selling books? If any of those, pop them in the chat.
I think they all know me.
They all know you. Guess it's a good thing. Carol, if you're still in the chat, I'm curious how Toby's doing. Carol has a golden retriever, and some of you may know I love golden retrievers. I would love to have a dog, but with my health issues and my allergies, and if somebody's in the chat from Delaware, you know I keep saying I want to move to Delaware because of the taxes in New Jersey, but I'm seriously considering if I ever move to Delaware, getting myself a dog, and I would love to have a golden retriever. So I miss the Goldens. He's doing great, Carol. Thank you. Yeah. Carol, it was funny. Every time I think about you, almost every time I drive by Starbucks, Carol was kind enough. I bought something for Carol's dog, Toby, and Carol gave me a Starbucks gift card. It's like, I can't pay $5 for that. Was back in the day when the coffee's at Starbucks for $5. So I actually used that at Treasure Island in Las Vegas. I used the gift card because I was waiting for a show, the Beatles show, which, guys, if you're ever, I don't know what's going to happen because Treasure Island has changed hands, and I think a Native American tribe, I think it's going to be a Hard Rock. I'm not 100% certain, but I think it may be. I know it was sold, so I don't know if they'll still have the Cirque du Soleil show, Love, the Beatles show. Great show. I've seen it twice, so I actually was waiting for the show, and I actually used Carol's gift card. And yeah, like McDonald's coffee. Yeah, well, $1.50 for a cup of coffee. Although I shouldn't be going to McDonald's, but that's another story. Anyway, I'm glad to hear that Toby's doing well, Carol, and I appreciate all you guys, popping in the chat, and I appreciate you guys. So anyway, Maggie, why don't you share a little bit about what you do on your YouTube channel, and if you want to share, I did put in your description your YouTube channel, your Poshmark closet, and your Instagram. Again, they're all in the description. So why don't you share, tell the people a little bit about what you do on your channel and what else you want to share about your social media.
I do not enough on my channel. So what I do is once a month I do a Thrift It Look for Less challenge with a bunch of other ladies who do it too. Basically, we find an outfit that's pricey. We find an equivalent outfit in the thrift shops, and we show how you can get that expensive look for a lot less by going in the thrift shops. I would love to do more with my YouTube channel. My goal, I mean, it's not even a lofty goal. I would love to put out one video a week. I would love to just put out one video a week. Mm-hmm. And that's just a thing that I would like to do. And my Instagram, I do, this is what I'm wearing today that I bought at the thrift shop. I just do a lot of that, and that's fun. That's just a really way I connect with other resellers there sometimes, but I connect with a lot of other women who thrift, or a lot of other women who are just in their 60s and have common experiences. So that's just a lot of fun. So it's probably not anything that people or resellers in the chat would be interested in, but I do want to do more with my YouTube channel. I feel like if I could, what I did do was in my last 2 Thrift It Look for Less challenge videos, and they get like, I mean, I have one video that got me 7,000 views or something. It was crazy.
Congratulations.
But it was just a weird little video, but mostly I get 100 or so looks, but I did put a coupon in the description, and I've had it used a few times. So
okay. So there's a pro tip, right?
Yeah, I feel like there's potential there for
sure.
Linking back to my
cross promote the different platforms,
getting customers there. So I feel like if I could once a week put out a video, thrift it out of the week, or something like that. So that's my goal, is to really work on that. But I'm struggling with managing my time with being with my
grandchildren, babysitting, and the reselling business, and you have the 2 properties now you have to maintain, and
and just I'm still doing my chorus thing, so I do a lot of singing and practicing. And
Okay, so that's kind of come back now with the pandemic. That's kind of come back a little bit.
Yeah, and my chorus before the pandemic won their regional competition and is going to international competition in Phoenix in September.
Oh, nice.
So we're working hard towards that. So I've been doing a lot of practicing and learning music and stuff like that. So I just really want to, I'm trying to focus on organizing my time better.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if anybody has any tips for me.
Well, you have your planner. Maybe you can talk to Beth about the bullet journal and planning. And
I know, because she works. She works. She has a job and she does her amazing, business. And
kind of sort of full-time job, and she's great in business, and she's helping take care of her family members, or elderly family members. Yeah, maintaining a home, and absolutely.
And she's so good at it, and I'm so bad at it. I'm bad at managing my time.
Well, we all need help in managing your time, I guess. Yeah. Okay, guys, I don't see any other additional questions in the chat. So Jennifer was just joined us. Glad to join us, Jennifer. Just want to thank MaggieDoodle for her time. I always say your time is your most valuable asset. So I'd like to thank her for being here, and those of you also that are watching the live and the replay. And just remind you, if you can, to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're getting value out of this channel, turn notifications on, and if you leave a comment, that helps the channel as well. And guys, I'm always looking for other resellers to join me on Wednesday evening. So if you would like to join me on Wednesday, be interviewed about reselling, or just have a general chat about reselling, or know other resellers maybe that you run in different circles that I do that might want to be on the show, I would appreciate it. Just all my social media is listed in the description, and as well as Maggie's information again. Her YouTube channel, her Instagram, and her Poshmark closet. So if you want to reach out to Maggie, I'm sure that you can reach out to her via her Instagram. Maggie will be more than happy to help you. Okay, guys, appreciate you being here. And again, remember, Angie is having Rachel Strickland on as her co-host because Bobby is in Hawaii. Thanks for being here, guys. Take care now.
Bye-bye.